Hi, this is my presentation for the Web 2.0 mix-ups or mashups, and I'm doing mine on art history, mixing old and new. This would be a lesson that would be appropriate for middle school or high school students. The objectives are for the student to select an artist and one piece of the artist's work. It can be a favorite artist or they can find new ones. Research the artist and find interesting information about their life and their work. That will be used when they create a Web 2.0 comic or meme. That will be a memorable presentation to their audience. They need to incorporate current or pop culture references in the new image as well. And then here are some examples of what their memes or comics could look like in a Animoto video. Okay, so those images show them examples of some of the possibilities. So the first Web 2.0 tool that they'll be using is Google Image Search. And I've created a couple of screencasts on how to do safe searching so that they can get appropriate images that are not copyright restricted, and then how to save images. I did these using Jing, which is a screencast software or tool.
Images, and then you can type in the artist name that you're curious about. Jackson Pollock is what I'm going to look up. When you get here, you want to go into the search tools, usage rights, and you're going to need to pick the correct one. You want to use labeled for reuse with modification. Once you get here, you're going to start searching, and once you click on images, make sure that you are finding the right artist work, because a lot of times when you get down to modified searches, you will find other artists' work that is not necessarily the exact one you're looking for. So
And then there's also a screencast in there on how to save the image, which if you go onto my Google presentation, you can watch that as well. Okay, I also put in the presentation several other image sites that are available for students to explore. They have a lot of great art history resources for them. So after they save their image, they want to use one of the following Web 2.0 tools to create their memorable presentation. And so their second choice for Web 2.0 tools are Sumo Paint and Blabberize. Using Sumo Paint, they can create comics or memes, and they can really use it similar to Photoshop, where they can edit photos, they can layer photos. So what I've done is I've put together a few presentations for them on how to use Sumo Paint, but I've also linked them to some other YouTube videos that are out there that are really good. So here's my example for them. It's a real basic one on how to use Sumo Paint.
So once you already
to use sumopaint.com, you just open up your web browser, go to sumopaint.com, and then once you're there, scroll to the bottom. We want to use it for free. It takes a minute to load. While it's loading, you can kind of start looking at some of the tools that will pop up here in a minute for you to see. Okay, so now we want to create a new blank canvas. But you can also open a file from your computer if you have that available, that image that you saved. Okay, and then I go on to just show them, how they can use some of the layering and adjusting tools. Okay, next I found a Blabberize tutorial for them to use, which was nice because someone else had already created it, but it's something I could use in my classroom. So here was the Blabberize tutorial created by another teacher, and she just kind of walks them through how to create a Blabberize. And Blabberize is a Web 2.0 tool where you can take an image and you can make the photo talk. So they could maybe have the artist tell a joke or be creative with how they used it. So that was my Web 2.0 mashups, and I kind of wanted to inject humor into it to help it make it more memorable for students. So instead of just in the past where I had students create a research paper or a presentation, I thought this might help them to actually remember more information about the artist, because I also wanted them to research about their life when they were doing this as well. Alright, well, hopefully you found some of this useful.